I get that light shut off. Okay. Oh, okay. And so, we're reconnecting. Hold on. Hi, Shane. How are you? How is the picture? It's saying that my connection is unstable. Am I here? Am I there? Am I anywhere? Oh, hi, Kathy. How are you? Sure, I'm here. Okay, good. Good. Picture's good. Awesome. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? Hi, Kat. How are you, darling? Hey, Cindy. All right. Yay. I'm so happy to see you guys here. Um, I've been fighting with the upload all day long and have a really cool. Oh, happy Turkey Day, Kathy. I'll try to hurry. Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, April. Hello, April. April is Shane's 4-year-old daughter. Yes, she's pretty adorable. She makes some fun art for us. Doing okay. I'm a little crazy. I thought I might have to go into work at noon and do another split shift like I did last weekend. I didn't end up having to go in. I didn't know that until 20:45 tonight, and I'll be working midnight or later. Yes, Kathy says, happy Thanksgiving to all the kids. The video that I'm trying to upload is actually the intro video to our new project. And it's an interesting project. Kat and I were doing some great brainstorming. I don't know if it was this week or the week before, about what the next project should be. That's kind of more along the basic format instead of the crazy circus book or the upcoming really book that'll happen after the circus book. We have kind of a more simple form again. And so let me move you a little bit closer here. Hi. Okay, so what we have is we have a new book, and this will be for regular YouTube. And on this side, we will have simple exposure, and this will be for Patreon. So this book is going to meet in the middle. And I have it already prepped. Of course, that's what the video is about, is prepping and choosing the book and all of those good things. So let me try to find the center here real fast. I am working on prepping this whole book right off the bat because it is a little bit technical in how we have it set up. So here is the center of our book. So we're going to have 6 layouts here on the side, 6 layouts here on this side, and then we are going to meet in the center, right? But, hey, that was me. Hi, Christina. Hey, Oz, it was me. I knocked the light. He thought somebody was at the door. Ozzy, buddy, stop. Ozzy, hey. My guard dog. Okay, so the first 6 will be done on YouTube, and then the next 6 will be basically upside down from the other book, going that direction. We meet in the middle. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So half of it will be upside down to the other half. But each are going to be kind of opposites working off of each other. So Secret Garden is okay. How this idea kind of started was the people that kept asking about the theme of a book. And I feel that your art should, the better it will be. So the theme of this book is me. right? From our secret garden to our simple exposure. So it's kind of like the yin and the yang of life, and so it'll be interesting to see how the whole project evolves. I've got the basics down, but I do not have the whole. I don't have every page planned. I just have ideas kind of bouncing around right now. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Shane. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, Kathy says cool. Okay, good. I'm glad that it's made sense. Okay, so what I did here, guys, I just want to reiterate real quick to use a book that has signature. If you do not know what a signature is, definitely be sure to go and check out my Creating Your First Altered Book series playlist. But a signature is a stack of pages that are sewn into a book. You basically find the center here. It's the easiest to find the center by kind of folding up that page, and wherever that page opens, the center. Come on, I'm having to do this. This is definitely not as smooth as it looked before. But this is how you find the center of a signature, right? You just kind of fold it up and then remove the pages. Each of pages in each signature. I ended up removing 6 out of 10 pages in every signature. So it might have been 6 out of I removed 6 pages, full pages, and then it had 3 pages remaining in one signature and 3 pages remaining to the next signature. I took out all of those pages right off the bat, and I just decided it actually became kind of the best way to process that for me. The first group to the center here, don't fall over, signature of the book, and that is glued to the back. So I don't have a really thick back here. So let's see, let me look here. Hi, Brenda, how are you? Hi, Barb. Maybe explain the title meaning a bit or saving it for later. So the secret garden is kind of those happy places that you have in your heart. And Kat, feel free to utopian happiness that we feel sometimes. The secret garden are all of those safe places, are all of those precious places that we have in our hearts. And then the simple exposure is more of the reality of what that place is. So my first layout is going to talk about the beauty of living here, and simple exposure. The exposed part of living here is that it's pretty lonely. And how do I guess this light is kind of strange here. How do I feeling that you sometimes have in the middle of beauty? And so it's let's see, things we love versus how they may be vices or hindrances. So things that we love, and then kind of the reality of what something is. Hi, Mateo. Hi, Tony. How are you? So this book is really going to be very personal, but we're also going to try to make it as cool as we possibly can. Oh, hello. Hello from Italy. Mwah. Kiss back. I notice you've been checking out everything recently, Mateo, and that's been very cool. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. So I'm having to really think about the book. Again, the 6 on one side, the 6 on the other, and the 7th layout that's going to be the centerpiece. So let me kind of show you. Yes, it is very personal. And your layouts and your artwork, you can use the techniques that I'm using, but use whatever is personal to you. Like Shane has April, who's a 4-year-old, and I'm sure she has, and I know she gets tons of joy from that. But sometimes we enriching and fulfilling, but sometimes we feel piled up by it. If you have a farm, how amazing it would be to grow your own food, but how much work goes into it. It's kind of the equal but opposite. So you're showing your gratitude for what you have, but also showing the reality of what your life is, or the darker side of it, or how it's fun to go out and have a drink, but then you don't always feel so great in the morning. However you want to interpret it, it is something that is personal to you. Some people smoke a cigarette and how that makes them feel good, but yet on the other hand, it doesn't. So it's not necessarily a light and fluffy concept, but we're going to make it be as interesting as possible. I mean, you can make it however you want to make it. This is your each individual book. Okay. It is an abstract concept, and it's very personal, and it will evolve as we go along, as all of our books. Thank you so much. I'm doing an altered personal book also. Thank you, Jane, that you're appreciating the explanation. It's hard to explain this concept because it's still not completely formulated for me. And in fact, I hadn't really gone into this part of the book in the video that I've been trying to upload all day. So it's kind of interesting, the evolution, the evolution of life, right? So here's what's cool. 6 out of 9 pages in each signature. Then there's also like an image that occasionally gets stuck in there. I don't know, this book was called The Way of All Flesh, and it was from 1987. Oh, thank you, Christina. Christina says it sounds very exciting. It is, and I'm super excited to do this book. So here I was just trying to do some reinforcing. And then this is sari silk that I put over the top of this. And look at how cool this dried. Look at that golden, delicious one color. So I've been using this sari silk in another project that we have coming up after the circus book is finished. That one's super exciting too, guys. I can't wait to get to it. So I have been reinforcing all of my seams already. Now let me do a quick run through of how I've glued these together. Let's see, Mateo says, I believe too many artists explain altered books as a strict rules list, and I believe it's not true at all. It's not. There are no rules to altered books. You should be taking inspiration and looking at how we are doing something and thinking about how you can apply it to your own page. Now, if you want to copy a technique or do something that I'm doing, that's awesome. That's great if you want to really learn how to do it. I have zero issues with that, but I always encourage my artists to take that as a jumping off point, because that's the only way you're really going to push your imagination. That's the only way you're really going to push yourself to become a better artist, is if you are no longer just copying and pasting what somebody else is doing. We're taking our inspiration, we're taking technique inspiration, and we're applying it to our own book. Okay, so like I said, first signature, this took so much thinking about, guys. Oh my God, it was hours of video footage to go through to do that video that won't upload. I was like, how am I going to do this? So here's the first one. Now it's mirrored on the other side. So this is the center of the first signature. This is 2 outside and 2 inside and 2 center. So this is the center of the second signature. This is 3 pages glued together. This is the other 4 pages glued together. So what we have here is we have a page that can become either a frame page or a drop page or a pocket page or whatever we want to do. So instead of gluing all of the 3 pages from one side and 3 pages from the other, I kind of split that up so that we have room to do some of our different things on that. So let me see here. Kat says that she agrees with Mateo. Mateo, that's why I started following you. You tell us all to be free, get the technique, and use it as we prefer. That is art. Absolutely. And craftsmanship and maintaining our integrity by not stealing other people's art. That is definitely priorities for me, is to not be voting in a recent magazine. They do a really cool drawing or painting of something, and then somebody makes it in their book. Great violation in my book. Now, if you're just going to be using it for your personal use, it doesn't really matter. But we do like to have integrity with our artwork, and it's just a good practice to get into. Anyways, you know, we always want to respect the artists that we are getting our inspiration from. And also, we really don't want to be using other people's recent artwork in our books. Now, of course, the copyright laws, I don't want to get into the whole copyright thing, but I do have a whole video on copyright laws, and you probably review that if you're interested. Okay, so here's the 2 center, and then here's the 2 inside and the 2 inside, right? So this way, even though a third signature, and then on the 4th one, this has about 4 pages glued together. So here, if I wanted to do the frame page again, I could. So here's the 4 center. Here's the 4. I hope this is making sense. So on some of it, to make a really nice, really super sturdy page, and some of the other ones, I have 5 is just, you know, you have the back of the 4, which is one of the frame pages, and then page 6 is a big sturdy page, and then the center one is a big sturdy page. Now that doesn't mean that we can't add on additional pages onto these pages, which we know that we can do that by taping on and all that manipulation. So I gave myself a really good basic beginning, and I'll run through that one more time here. So the 1 here is glued to the cover. We have the 1 center. For the second one in, it's split in half. Yes. How many glued pages would you suggest for an acetate window? That's a great question, Mateo. Excuse me. So for this one, the 2 outside and the 2 inside, right here, you could very easily make an acetate window out of this right here. You see? Or you could make these into pockets, or you could make a drop of this, something floating in there. There's so many different things that you can do by setting this up. I personally, if you're going to use acetate window, I would have a minimum of 2 pages on each side, but I would usually try to do at least like 3 pages on each side. Make it a good sturdy frame. Depends on If you want to make it as a frame page, where the acetate sits in the center, or if you want to make it a frame page where it sits over the top of something. So I'm just going to assume that you mean an acetate page that sits in the center. So I would do 3 on each side. We'll make it a really super sturdy page. You could do 2 on each side. You'd be fine with that because you'll end up having four pages of paper and then your 1 sheet of acetate in the center. So you'll have a sturdy enough page with it. Let me take a drink. Talk. I am gluing this book together and reinforcing every single center of each signature, right? And the reason for that is I don't want this book to fall apart. I do not want to deal with another book falling apart on me. So if everything is put together with fabric, it's not going to fall apart. So why not just prep it? Now most books you can get a total of like 15 pages. So here I'm planning for 6 and 6, 13 layouts. I'm planning for 13 layouts, but I know that there will probably be more pages within. So just reinforcing everything right off the bat. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Mateo. So what else do we need to chat about real quick? Does anybody have any questions with what I'm doing with the book? Is there anything that I can explain further for you? I know that there's not a ton of us here, but let's see. So Mateo, I've taken away enough pages. Mateo's question is, you said you are reinforcing the signatures. Isn't it a risk if in the future you realize you have to take away more pages? I have taken away 2/3 of this book. 9 or 10 pages. I have removed 6 pages. I have planned very carefully to go into the center of each and every signature. This will not need more pages removed. Now, this is the first time that I've really done it like this. But this makes a lot of sense to do it this way. Because a lot of times you're not going to get more than 1 layout in a signature. You just really can't. And after doing enough altered books, I've really kind of figured that out, that you get 1 layout per signature. And why just glue 2 pages together? Let's glue 3, 4, 5 pages together, make it a super strong page, and that page isn't going to go anywhere. I mean, what a great canvas to work off of. So I will not need to remove more pages from this book. I've removed, like I said, 2/3 of the pages and everything else is glued together. Okay. Oh, no, that's okay, Mateo. That's a great question. That is truly a great question. And this is, like I said, this is the first time that I'm really realizing this part of it, that if you go by the amount of signatures in your book, you really have a great way to, figure out how your book is going to work out. So will every book have 13 signatures? Absolutely not. In fact, some books will have 15 signatures. Some books will have 9 signatures. So it's going to be dependent on your book, right? So this book has about 1.5 inch spine to it. This one has a much smaller spine, but this one has much smaller signatures. So find a book that works for you, and you don't absolutely have to do the same number of layouts as I'm doing. Choose which ones you like the best. Choose which ones work the best for you. Just because that's what I'm doing, I do not expect everybody to keep up with it. And in fact, Secret Garden is going to be on regular YouTube. Simple Exposure is Patreon content. All right. So if you're not a Patreon, you will not see this full book being created. So Simple Exposure is going to be on Patreon. See, as always, you can put whatever layouts you want to on here. Out of any of the videos that you watch through any of the artists, doesn't have to just be something that I'm doing. Oh, good. You're welcome. No, Mateo, don't ever apologize for your questions. And I'm glad that you are understanding it. What does everybody else think? Are you excited about it? I can't wait to see what happens. I think it's going to be pretty fun. How about you guys? What you think? Let me know. There's 17 of you here, and only Mateo's asking questions. What do you think, Shane? Do you think it sounds like a fun project? Do you think it sounds interesting and unique? Those are two of my favorite words, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I guess nobody has anything to ask or to say. It sounds good. Absolutely. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate your response. I'm not sure who else is watching us here. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Let's see. Oh, okay, great. Wonderful. Everybody's responding now. Mateo says, do you have any doubt while you are working? In your videos, you sound so perfect. I have a lot of doubt while I'm working. Absolutely. If you ever wonder about that, check out the ATC one where I'm talking about if at first you don't succeed, try again. And that in that video, I redid the project 4 times before I got it right. This book was almost scrapped a couple times before I got it figured out. The new book that I'm working on for the project after the circus book, that one, I'm just going to use 2 words, steampunk, or is that 1 word? That book has been torn up 3 different times until it gets to where I'm happy with it. And I'm still working through that process. Art is an evolution. Art is never, if art is easy, you're not really challenging yourself. Now, it shouldn't be so technical that it's hard, but hopefully I'm taking out hard steps for you and showing you a simpler way to do things than what I have already had to work through. So you have to realize, too, that I condense 3, 4, and 5 hours worth of work into 30 minutes. So that is part of why it sounds easy, is because I'm just giving you the little snippets for it to make sense to you. You're not seeing all that background thought. It's difficult. Michelle says, it sounds like an interesting concept. It will be fun to see what everyone does. Yeah, especially the thought of, working from both ends, upside down on one to the other, kind of having yin and a yang type feel to it. You could do utopia to reality. You could do so many different things with this concept of how you want this book to relate to each other. Let's see. Shane says, I love the idea of the whole book. Thank you. Brenda, she's looking forward to it. Michelle said we were typing. I'm so glad that you were typing, because I'm like, is anybody there? Bueller? I think 100% night and day, black and white. Exactly. So many different ways we can take this. And in fact, the black and white is another concept that I was thinking of. Black gesso to start out the pages on one side, and white gesso to start out the pages on the other side, so that you have kind of that dichotomy, that opposite feeling. Absolutely. Mateo says, it's good to know that an artist like you makes mistakes. You're so inspirational. As I watch your videos, I just see perfection, cool ideas, and hands flying around making miracles. Well, thank you, Mateo. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't always make perfection, but I try to push myself to make something as good as I possibly can. And I leave in the imperfect stuff. And I try to do that for you guys often enough to know, for you to know that it's not always easy for me. You know, it's not easy coming up with new ideas. It takes a lot of work. But you know, I also have to give a huge shout out to Kat, because, you know, we had a couple of spots open up as far as, you know, when we finished the Creating Your First Altered book. So needed to fill in a spot in YouTube for that. And then for the Doodle build video was the other Patreon video. So really needed to work through a cool concept and figure out something interesting that we could do with both channels. Yeah, definitely. Mateo says, sorry for my English. Believe me, if I tell you that you are helping me a lot more than you can imagine. I am really happy to hear that. Your English has been just fine. I'm able to understand all of it. Definitely. Okay, guys. Do you have any questions for me whatsoever? I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I have to go finish getting ready for work and all that fun stuff, and need to have some dinner, and maybe I don't have time to close my eyes at all, but just kind of relax. It's going to be a busy night with Sunday night. So, okay, guys. Any other questions? Anyone? Anyone? All right. All right. Well, I hope everybody is doing well. Upper tier Patreons, we do need to work on scheduling our conversations. I'll make sure of my schedule. Should be able to start doing those Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, possibly Saturday. So sometime in there. Let's see. Yeah, I'll send you out an email, and let's try to get you all taken care of and have our little chats. Mateo says, I wish you a wonderful day, and I wish you one also. Have a great day, all. Stay safe. We will chat soon. Bye-bye. A hug for you and for Ozzy. Yay. Oh, hi, Trudy. Hey, up. So check out the replay, and you'll be able to see what our new project is going to be. It'll be fun. Good night, Shane. Have a good night. Ozzy, you're okay, by golly. April says goodbye. Goodbye, April. Ozzy, come here. Ozzy, come here. Come here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come up here. Come here. Up. Come say hi. Hey. You were napping, weren't you? All right. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Sharon. Ozzy, come say bye-bye. Bye, buddy. Buddy. He's not going to jump up right now. He's wondering what's going on outside. Everyone.